Hi, in this episode we're going to take a look at a feature film that I scored earlier last year entitled Pageant Material. The score is a blend of orchestral orchestration and southern influence, meaning lap steel and mandolin. But it also has something that we really haven't discussed a lot, which is what I wanted to talk about today, which is tempo change, accelerando. It does it at a pretty drastic pace and you can feel that in the music. The awesome thing about it is that it helps give urgency to the scene. And it's one of the many things that composers can use to help lift a scene. So let's jump on in and get to work. So let's take a look at this scene and then we'll dissect it.
Make your mama proud, okay?
Yes, Miss Tracy. How can I ever thank you for this?
Stop on back by here on your way home and show me that crown. Go out and get everything you ever wanted, baby.
This is kind of the pivotal point in this character. Miss Tracy, aka the fairy godmother, helps him get on his path. This is kind of when the story kind of turns around for this character, and I really wanted something magical, this fairy tale-esque element to it, come to fruition. So let's kind of talk through, first and foremost, what's going on with the tempo. So when I open up my session here, I've got a couple things. I've got my marker, which kind of shows where the cuts are at, where I want things. I have different little sections here. So we've got the fairy godmother section, which is just them talking. I've got the building into, which is the build into the wave or the kind of the peak of the piece. And we have the final piece. And then I have the signatures here because the time signatures move all over the place. Just because that's kind of how it is when you're writing to picture. Not everything is in 4/4. So you have phrases of 5 and a phrase of 3 and a phrase of 7, or a phrase of, 1/8, whatnot, have you. So right here, we're starting at 53 beats per second, and then we're going up to 103. The reason we're doing that, like I said, is to provide lift to the story, not with crazy modulations or super advanced harmonies. We're just doing it with a tempo increase. So if I pull up the harmony, we have an ascending scale with a tempo that's increasing. We're in the key of A major, and we're starting on the 4. So the harmony is really simple, and when this tempo increase is happening, we're essentially ascending the scale. So let's talk about the orchestration. So we have a couple little parts here going on. So we have synthesizers, we have a mandolin, we have a piano, we have strings, and we have tuned percussion and a lap steel. Here's where we start our climb. So our first kind of piece is this pad, which is just a CS80 plugin. And it's just playing 4/1, because that's what the harmony's doing here. And this is what the plugin looks like. It's kind of got an 80s flair, which is cool. After that, we have the piano and the mandolin. So they're kind of playing a call and response together. So notice one plays, the other rests. Now they play together. Then we have the string family. And the string family is broken up into three parts. So we have flautando, which is playing light string parts, which sounds like this. And it's playing the same harmony as that soft synth, just 4-1. We have the cello, which is playing a bass line. Same thing. Then we have some pizzicato strings coming in a moment. I will point out, I wanted to have a bass line that had some movement to it. So not just ascending, so it's ascending and descending. So dee da 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 da. So I wanted to have a phrase that ascended and descended at the same time to give some contrary movement. Finally, another texture that we have is the lap steel. So the last thing we haven't talked about is the percussion, and it comes in at the build. We have timpani and some bass drums. And the timpani is just playing the bass notes of each chord. So timpanis, and then we have some bass drums, and then we have some marching percussion, some snares going at the very end there. So with that understanding of what's going on with the harmony, tempo is increasing. The last thing I want to show you guys is what's going on with the timing of the cuts. So notice the hit happens when she clutches her chest and puts her hands up. See that? There's the one. And notice as this tempo is starting to build, she's starting to move. So she's moving with the music, picking up speed. And then we close the cue with the cymbals into this right here, this wide shot of her standing. So that's how we end the scene. So there's not really a lot going on harmonically. It's just pretty much 4-1, 4-1, and then 4 with a climb. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to 1. So it's got some plagal cadences, which is 4-1. But other than that, there's not really a lot going in the piece. It's just intensified because of the orchestration coming in as the character starts to move, as well as the tempo starts to increase, and the choice of the bass line ascending and descending while the chords are ascending. Because what we're trying to do is convey emotion as composers, and using tempo and using basic orchestration techniques. You can help do that with the scene. So I hope that was informative and you got a better understanding of some new techniques that you can use in your compositional approach. People underlook tempo change. I think it's a super powerful agent in regards to helping tell a story with score. There's a link to previous videos that I've done above that you can check out if you've missed some. But until then, please subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you all next week.